In my book, I wrote about the ways in which various school subjects were lacking. But one of the things that I didn't talk enough about was music. What I'm going to show you today should be taught to every kindergartner. It should be the first thing they learn, and everyone in society should know it. If we had a functional school system, everyone in our society would know what I'm about to show you. Um, the question really is, why don't we know this? Why don't most people know this? And the only answer I can come up with is because they don't want us to know it. Personally, I've sat in many a music class. I've attended public schools in various places all over this nation, and they make you sit there and they make it boring. They manage to make music boring. They make you sit there and memorize things. What all the notes are, what are the treble clef and the bass clef, and how to write sheet music. They have you writing sheet music before they ever let you get anywhere near an instrument. In fact, they never do. There's one piano in the class, and it sits in the corner of the room, and the, only the teacher gets to play it. The teacher gets to show off on the piano while the students never get to play it, and they never really learn anything. What they really seem to be learning is that music is difficult. It takes a lot of study. It takes expertise. It takes money to have a piano. And so that's what seems to be being taught in music class in my mind. And it reminds me, of course, of John Taylor Gatto's description of the lessons. You know, as he said, he could teach the class, you could pass along the information for reading, writing, and arithmetic fairly quickly. It could be done in one semester. But what is really being taught in schools? Boredom, conformity, you know, all the things that they want out of their factory workers. So that's why they don't want children to have the gift of music, in my opinion. Well, that's my take on it, anyways. So I'm going to go to the keyboard now and show you what I'm talking about, and I'll be back in a minute. So today I want to show you how to play piano in 5 minutes, or guitar or bass. This is something they should teach every child in kindergarten on the first day of music class. But they don't. For some reason, they make music boring and difficult and something that only certain people can do. And the piano sits in the corner of the room and the kids don't get to play it. Only the music teacher gets to show off while they don't actually teach the kids anything. So you see two numbers on the screen. Those are the patterns for a major and minor scale. Those two patterns are all you need to know to play music. That's it. You don't need to know anything more than that. Now, what do I mean by the ones and zeros? One means you skip one note, or one key if we're talking about a keyboard, to play the next note in the scale. So if we're playing starting here, the 1 means we go here. And then if the next one's a 1, we go here. And if the next one's a 0, we go there. Because 0 means you don't skip any keys, you just play the next one. That's it. There's nothing more you need to know about music than that. So the major scale is 1-1-0, 1-1-1-0. And you can easily see that by playing this key, C, because the major scale is laid out in C, all on the white keys. 1-1-0, 1-1-1-0. Now let's pick a random note. What's the name of this note? We don't know. We don't need to know. We don't even need to know there's such thing as an alphabet. All we need to know is the pattern. 1-1-0, 1-1-1-0 to play a major scale. 1-1-0, 1-1-1-0. And you played an A major scale. Now the interesting thing about the key of A which is what we just played, is that if you play the minor scale, it's the same as playing a major scale on C, meaning that all the keys are laid out on the white. So if you ever forget what the pattern is to play the minor scale, you can play it from A. 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. And again, if you forget the pattern for the major scale, it's on C. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. And as I said, these patterns apply to any key. Let's pick out a random one. Here's F sharp. Let's play an F sharp major. What's it going to be? 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. Now you just played F sharp major, and you know how to play every single scale, and you just started playing piano 5 minutes ago. Now if you just want to play along with your favorite song, go ahead, go put your favorite song on. Now play around on the keyboard until you're playing along with it. Sooner or later you're going to find a note that seems to go along with everything they're playing. Whatever it is. You'll start to notice that they're repeating that note. That's your root note. Now all you have to do is figure out whether it's a major or minor scale. Minor scale. People say minor sounds sad and major scales sound happy. It's all your taste. There's a difference between that's a major, that's a minor. That's all you need to know to play music. You don't even need to know the names of the notes. You should if you want to become good at playing. But all you really need to know are those two patterns. You see how easy that was? Isn't it amazing that you could just learn music in one day and be playing along with any song in any key, just like that? How come they don't teach that in schools? Or do they? Maybe they taught it in your school. They sure didn't teach it in mine or any of the other schools I've been to. I met people who are full-grown adults and they think that they can't play an instrument. It's too hard. It's something that's hard to do or hard to learn. You need talent. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to save that for my next video. This false concept of musical talent. So yeah, it's just that easy. You know, I don't have any training. I don't have any extensive training, certainly not on piano. I was in band in grade school, and so I know how they teach instruments. They teach them note by note, scale by scale. They make this slow, long process when they could just give you these patterns and you could be playing overnight. So the question again is why? Why aren't these patterns taught? I guess you can come up with that answer for yourself, but of course, I strongly recommend you give this gift to your children. Give them the gift of music. There's way too much mystification, I think, around music. It seems like to a lot of people that it's like this, you need to have this great talent and you need to, all this stuff around music. People have this idea that you have to have, this great talent to do music, and you gotta study for many, many years, and you have to know all the different notations and all this stuff. When most of the greatest musicians don't even read music. You'd be surprised how many famous musicians didn't even read music at all. So here's something I just want you to try for a mental exercise. Look at the keyboard. Forget about the alphabet. Forget what the key names are. It doesn't matter. You just pick a key and you remember that key and you name it whatever you want. You can name it after yourself. You can name it after your grandma. You can name it Aunt Bertha. You can name it Alien X from Planet Z, name it whatever you want, and then play that. Play Aunt Bertha major, play Aunt Bertha minor. And you'll see that it doesn't matter what the names of the keys are. What matters is the relation of the notes to each other. And that's what's described by the pattern. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0 to play a major scale. You don't need to know what the names of the keys are. You don't need to know music theory. You don't need to know sheet music. You don't need to know any of that. You just need to know the relation of the notes to each other in these two patterns. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. I want to save this for the idea about musical talent for the next one.